Hi everyone, it's Ruby from the popsicleseer channel. Welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I've been meaning to do a longer video for a while now, but just time has not permitted me to do so because I've had a few projects. But I'm so happy to just spend some time today to go through lots of various different topics. So if you've got a minute, get yourself a cup of tea or drink and then just relax, because I have a lot of things to cover. So the way I read the oracle and sometimes the tarot is not just from picking the cards, it's just from intuitively. I pick the cards according to what I get channeled from the spirit or the divine. And today I'm just going to go through some of the topics that I've mentioned before, as well as elaborating on new ones as well. So to start off with, I've had a lot of the collective undergoing a spiritual upgrade. And the analogy I can use is that to use the software as an upgrade. So take an example of a software like, say, Word document. And sometimes you can have a higher version and in a company, but you're still operating with companies that have a lower version. So you have two versions, one higher one and a lower one, that you can antiquate and respond accordingly. So I use that analogy in dealing with people. So the collective here that I'm talking to, you all have a very high understanding of how energy works, because all throughout your life you've been trained to go through a lot of things, and you're able to get a grasp and understanding spiritually. However, you've had to go through a lot of things to get through to other people that are on a lower vibration. So you're trained to be able to understand what they're talking about. So in this regards, you are still undergoing your own spiritual path and upgrading, as well as working and operating still with the other people. I don't know if I can explain it better than that. But all I'm saying is that you've got the ability to upgrade yourself whilst you're working with people with a lower vibe. Unfortunately, the group I'm talking to, you're going to come across the mass community of people on earth that are still half asleep. They don't understand what's going on. Like, we're all born with a higher power, but we just don't understand the intensity and the power that we have. So a lot of us have suppressed our power, and it's time for us to start working on them. So that's why I've been producing a lot of videos, and these videos can be very, very intense. That's why I have been producing very short videos and smaller bites, so that it doesn't get overwhelming for anyone who is new to looking at the spirituality on a more regular basis. So I'm going to just keep talking about different issues because I've jotted down in dot points. Now, I've been told that just because someone in authority says something doesn't mean it's true. I'm referring to something like that you can get from media, like television or journalism and things like that, things that are from the sort of authority saying, oh, this is happening in the world. So I've been told to say, don't take it literally, because there's a lot of things that are hidden. And I assume that in this group, you are probably wise enough to get away from the mainstream media. So, but for anyone that's just still looking at mainstream media, just use your discernment. Not a lot of things, in fact, are true. Okay, so another point is that a lot of you have experiences that are blessing in disguise. So I have mentioned that before in previous readings, and I'll take myself as an example. So you may have come across confrontations with an authority like a boss figure, or even perhaps even family members like a parent. And sometimes you used to get on with them, but all of a sudden you may have a confrontation out of the blue. In that regards, there's something that I need to bring up. It's because sometimes there are some evil forces, demonic forces that are using the people around you to get to you, like a psychic attack. So that's something that needs to be, for you to be aware of. Sometimes you may come across situations that, it's all well, it's fine, and then all of a sudden you get an attack and got blamed for something that you haven't done. Now, I'm used to it now because I know how to deal with the energy, but for a long time I used to get several psychic attacks like that. So if any of you are going through that, please go through what I mean is just observe the energy that you're feeling. If you're all of a sudden you're feeling very anxious and under attack, just be the observer. When you're in the observer mode, that takes the emotion out of you, so you do not react. So that's something that can be eliminated, and you can calm the energy down. And don't take that person's attack as a literal attack on you. It's because that person sometimes may not understand that they're being under control by a negative force or spiritual figure. So that's something to be aware of. Okay, so another group is going through the dark night of the soul. I'm not sure if everyone knows what the dark night of the soul is. It's when we're going through a spiritual path and there are things in the past that we need to resolve. It hasn't been resolved. We go through those issues and they come up to the surface. And if you're going through a period where you're very stressed out, it can feel like you're just ready to really give up on life. And I'm not saying that in any way, and I hope no one goes through that. But you can go through a period of depression where no one can help you, and especially in the spiritual journey, be aware that you might spend a lot of time alone. But really, for you, the best thing is to just go within, and that's when you can tap into all the higher spiritual spirits that can help you. And a lot of your angel guides and the divine will be able to tap in. A lot of the times we're so distracted that we fail to see the signs to say, hey, I'm here. They're here to help you. And I've mentioned that in many, many videos before. You may miss the signs from, say, a music lyric, some movies. They teach you a lot, but we just think that it's just for entertainment, but really it's giving us signs to wake up. Sometimes on your computer or your phone you might see repeated numbers, that's another sign that the spiritual guides are tapping into you and saying, hey, I'm here. Also, your ancestors may sometimes check in on you. And you might also see sometimes when you're sitting down on the side, there's some sort of something that flies over you. You can maybe sometimes see orbs at night, and you can see maybe geometric shapes. As you are more spiritually tapped into this realm, you'll start to see a lot of things that nobody will be able to have come across, and if you tell them, they think you're mad. But not that you care nowadays. As you work more and more with your spiritual self, you care less about what other people think. So that's the dark night of the soul. Just please, if it gets really long term with depression, please go and see a physician or a counselor for mental health. Or please contact me. I can be emailed on popsicleseer@gmail.com. I can perhaps give you some guidance as to how to go about it, because I have undergone many cycles of this dark night of the soul, and I can tell you that you will come out of it. It just takes a lot of work, inner work, but it's all worth it. I can truly say that because I have done all the work, life is a lot easier, and I can go through so many challenges and get through them and get over it very quickly. So that I can promise you. A lot of you might just need some guidance, and I'm here to help you. So a lot of you also have a lot of hidden gifts and talents, and I mentioned that in previous readings. A lot of you don't recognize your talents, and it's something that needs to be harnessed, and you have to recognize your own ability. And I know that maybe in the past you've come across your family members or anyone that's tried to put you down and saying that you don't have that. I get it, because I've been there and done that. The majority of the people that I've been with, like family or friends that I've come across, and even at work, everyone has put me down. But I am not. I'm where I am now because I failed to listen to them now. It's because I know myself. I know my talent, and I've proven to myself that I have those abilities. The abilities that sometimes I used to get scared of, but not anymore. I actually now welcome them, and I start laughing about it because it's all coming out. So it's my gifts are my psychic abilities. It's so accurate that it just comes out straight away. It's not like before. It used to take me a lot of time. So I'll give you an example. I'd be thinking about certain people, and then all of a sudden I get a message from that person. Or say, for instance, in the past that I had come across something that's happened at work with an issue. I'd know about it firsthand, and some people were so worried about it, saying, how the hell did you know about this? I said, I just knew. No, somebody must have told you. I said, no, I don't know about it. I just knew. I just had this inkling. So when you're going through these spiritual journey, and as you go through and harness, and it's like chipping into making a sculpture, your psychic abilities will really be so enhanced that you sometimes might scare yourself. It's only because you're tapped into the higher realm. It's like a satellite. You are really tapped into it, straight into it, and the frequency is matching that high frequency, so therefore you know it straight away. So I urge everyone to go through your psychic abilities, or any abilities, or anything that you are really good at. You can write them down. Don't be worried that you haven't found anything yet. Just keep working on it. And I've mentioned to everybody to start having a journal. The journal is really tapping into yourself. It's like your own biography and your own achievements. It's really important. I started getting told by a very successful woman about 6 or 7 years ago, have a journal, and I was kind of sort of laughed at it because I've got so many journals. And she started writing all her achievements and everything in there. And that's a record, because it's a record of what you can't store in your brain. So it's really important to start writing things down and just really be accountable for your achievements. So that's that part. Let me see what else. Okay, so don't be fooled or worried when you go through a tough time. I know the collective has been copying a lot of stuff and things that are not even, things that we've done. So, but we cop it. Somebody, decides to blame us. So just don't worry about it. Look at it from the higher perspective. And I have mentioned it in previous reading, is whenever you go through a low vibration like this, the thing to do is to ask your higher self to communicate with the higher self of, say for instance, that person or that situation, and see from a higher perspective. And that's the only way to deal with this. The last thing you want to do is to stoop to that particular frequency and stay there. The success will never come. So you have to keep climbing up. And I have posted in just a couple of days ago the map of consciousness and what is for you to not stay there, and where are you to go to. So I marked the lower vibrations with a cross, and I ticked the higher vibrations with a tick. I marked it with a tick. So that's where we're aiming to go to. And it's affirmations that you have to leave the old world and the low vibrations, and you no longer live there, and you have chosen to elevate by going up to the higher frequency and live there. So that's the part about going through the hard times and when you get challenges and setbacks. So a lot of you are trained to be able to endure the challenges and setbacks and be the leader. But a lot of the collective in the past have been shut down whenever we try to do things on your own. But now, as you go along, a lot of you are late starters, and now you are really stepping up to be the leader. So that's something that's really good, and I can feel that the collective are all trying to really get through to their own issues and then elevating. So a lot of you have doubted your intuition in the past, but you're now coming out of it. So Spirit is just asking you to stop putting so much emphasis and effort to prove to your to others your worth and value. What I mean is that a lot of you have been trying to keep working with, like, helping somebody that don't deserve it. So say, for instance, at work, you've been trying to do so much more than what you should be doing and letting other people slack off. You should actually just pull back, but also some people don't deserve for you to just keep doing work for them, because they have to learn. The Spirit's just saying, just pull back on those people. I'm not saying not to help everybody, but some people don't deserve the help because they're really using you, taking advantage of you. Okay, a group of collective have been wanting answers in order to get closure from somebody. It could be a past relationship or several relationships or friendships. Spirit is saying that you may not get the answers from that person to get the closure. So to get the closure, you need to go within and work with Spirit to say, what lesson are you learning from having the interaction with that person in the past? And this needs to be let go of, because both of you are now separated to learn different lessons now, and that lesson has closed. You got something out of it, and that person got something out of it as well. And we don't necessarily need to be in contact for a whole lifetime. No one needs to be. It can sometimes two people are together for just maybe a season or even for a short time. So just let that go. Okay, so a group of you have to develop thick skin. And what I mean is that you have been so sensitive and being hurtful and reactive when somebody, laughs at you or done something wrong with you, and you kind of just go in and suffer in silence. Spirit's saying that you are very worthy of everything that's good, and if they want to laugh, let them laugh, because you're going to have the last laugh and your victory will come. It just means that you can work in silence and prove them wrong. So do not worry about what others are looking at you at, because I've had family members who used to laugh at me and saying, oh, I'm stupid or silly, and really hurtful things. But what they don't realize is that over the years I've started to come out of my own shell and develop myself, and now they don't even say anything, and they kind of look up to me. And because they know that I will come out on top. So, okay, I'm going to give you a quote on what's applicable to this channel. Now, this channel is not for me to tell you everything and then feed you with stuff and then that's it. So I'll give you this quote. So, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. So this is what this channel is here for. I'm here to help you go through your own journey by guiding you, because I've been through my own, and I can give you my experiences to maybe help you to see whether your experiences work for you. So I'll be here to just give you guidance, but I'm not going to be like a counselor or somebody that could just help you every time. I'm here to just give you the tools that you can help yourself with them. Okay, so let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so a lot of you are stepping into your power as you're elevating and working with your energy. So I've mentioned that so many times, managing energy and going through the energetic signatures. So you're not allowing anyone to dictate your life direction anymore. Not like before, because you were told this and that, and so many people make decisions for you, and you didn't have to make your own, but things went wrong. So, and many people have left that you have left now are narcissistic people in your lives. You've had a lot of people that had a lot of control over you, but you're now stepping into your own power, and more now you are stepping away from that type of people, because you are learning to identify the behaviors and why you attracted those people. So there was something in you that had no control over your own life, so you attracted narcissistic people or people that were very toxic. Okay, so you also had a lot of people who didn't care about you, and because you had a low self-worth and love for yourself, so you attracted a lot of people that were like that, and because they're acting as a mirror to you. But you're now coming out of it. Okay, so there's another question that I'm asking. I'm going to use an analogy of a fuel. So what fuel are you operating on? So a low grade type of fuel that I can use the analogy on is anger. That's very, very low on the vibrational scale, which is 150 according to the map of consciousness. And the high grade of fuel that I can have a look at is love. Love is on 500. So we're aiming to go at least the high 300s. That is according to the map of consciousness, through forgiveness and understanding and reason. That's what we're aiming for. So you can ask yourself a question every now and then to see what scale you're on. And I have given you in the previous post the map of consciousness, the extract you can always refer to. Okay, so you've been highly selective in your life now. You're like a gatekeeper of who is allowed and not allowed in your life. Previously, you're always there for everyone. You used to spend so much time on, pleasing everybody and attending to their needs, and then when you need it, they're not there. But you're now very selective. You've stopped attending to those people and you're just working on yourself, which is a good achievement. Now, if that really applies to you, you can agree with me, but please write that down in your journal as your then and now, because that will give you a good achievement that you can be proud of, so that you can continue working on and motivating you to work on the new things that you need to work on. We're always working on things, but it's never an ending story. But the more we work on that, the more we're going to be ascending to the new world, where our experiences are going to be on high vibration and lots of manifestations come our way. And the people that don't want to work on themselves, or refusing to even look at themselves because of their ego, they're going to remain on the old earth, and lots of things are going to happen to them, like sickness, and cancer is one of them, that is refusing to forgive other people and working on themselves. So that's just one of the unfortunate things that could happen to people, and there will be lots of different things that will happen to them, which we're not going to talk about because we're not about this. Okay, so what else? Some of you are very overwhelmed with life at the moment still. The suggestion, as I mentioned, is to still start working on the journal. The first step is to work on just what you've achieved before and what have you changed to now that's positive, your then and now. And then the second part is to just write down what that issue is now. So say for instance, if you're overwhelmed, you start writing overwhelmed, and to write down what you're overwhelmed with, and just work on that for the time being. Just park that idea to say, okay, why am I in this lower vibration? It's overwhelming is that you have a fear of like not progressing with life, and that's something that needs to be looked at to see why you're scared of that. I've been there before, and all it takes is just to slow down and look after yourself and just go within and ask for help. Again, if there's anything else I can assist you with, please email me. Okay, so a lot of you have been asked to test your hunches. Your hunches are very important because it sharpens up your spirituality and your intuition. So I've been testing that since I've had quite a lot of, like when I went to hit rock bottom, I started to ask for the divine to help me. My spirit was helping me all along, but I chose to, at one stage I hit rock bottom, I shut down and I just didn't think about that. But since after that, I started to work on my hunches. So the way to work on your hunches is to work intuitively and by using your creativity. Your creativity could be anything. It could be a little craft work, it could be art, it could be even exercising or going to dancing or anything that you enjoy with. And if you test your hunches, it's very, very, very important, and it's very valuable in life. So I've used my hunches in terms of meeting people that I didn't really trust, especially online. And one of the viewers here, you'd know who I'm talking to, like we've been talking about the problems that we may have had with relationships. But one particular incident that I have had was meeting people online, and I used my hunches to see what that person is about, and straight away my intuition was correct. But I stayed just enough to get more information out of that person, and my intuition was correct about the person. It didn't turn out well with that person, and we didn't really sort of continue with a possibility of a relationship. But these are the things that you can test your hunches on, and it's really testing to go within and test for your feelings. If the feeling is quite low in the level of the scale in the map of consciousness, then the answer is no. Do not continue with that person. So how else can you be intuitive? There's lots of things that helps you to get on your creativity. Another point is, I've been told by Spirit to bring up is your diet and what you have. So please eat less foods that have preservatives. And I'm not sure if anyone uses toothpaste with fluorides. A lot of the commercial toothpaste contains fluoride. Fluoride can clog up your pituitary gland, which is the gateway for the third eye, and that can cause other issues with as well, like Alzheimer's. So a lot of the health shops or websites can stock toothpaste that has no fluorides, so you can look into it. So that's something that I just wanted to bring up. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so Spirit's asking, there's a reminder to the collective is to ask yourself, how committed are you with transforming your life or going through your spirituality? And that's something you have to answer yourself. And again, if you're really committed, please do what you can to start working on it and have something to show for yourself. Also, are you making any healthy choices? So if your answer is yes, just please continue. If you're not, again, work on them. Okay, so another one is, some of you have been asked to, let me see, some of you have been asked to feel, okay, so a lot of you have been on the way to feeling fulfilled and secure, and you realize that you don't need a particular person. You're happy with and without them. You're fulfilled. And a lot of you are very comfortable now with dealing with issues and are very confident. You're not so bothered and triggered anymore, and you're minding your own business and continuing with your own path. So I think I've just got time for now, just for the time being. Okay, so time is an illusion. If what I said hasn't happened yet, please don't think that it's not going to happen, because we are in the collective group here, and a lot of the things are resonating with us. So, okay, so let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so you've been dealing with a lot of things in the past and issues, and you took it on board, and things that were thrown at you. So Spirit's saying that you're taking it really well and you will be rewarded. Just that if it hasn't happened yet, you will. So don't forget to rest and rejuvenate yourself. And try not to react to other people when they provoke you. Please just respond. Now, if you have to react, please take a moment to look at the vibration that you're in and just be mindful. Okay, be aware that sometimes, as I may have mentioned it before, a lot of people that are close to you have been used by some demonic forces. So you might have conflicts all of a sudden with some close friends or people, and that's because there's some evil forces that are giving you psychic attacks. Be aware of that. I don't think it's happening to everyone, and I'm not saying it's for everybody, but sometimes it can happen. So I've been told also that silence is gold. Do not speak too much to other people about what you're doing. It's not that you're not honest, it's just that a lot of people are not happy about when you are elevating. So just be the observer and observe your environment and just continue going about your way. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this video today. It's just a very informal chat because I cannot go through so many different readings. So I'm just giving you some of this. I'm still going to be giving you some shorts shortly as well, based on this long video. So thanks very much for your time, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye for now.